Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are group 6. First of all, let me introduce me and my group first. My name is Rida Sakinal Kadri, and then my other friends, Mutia Herza Putri and Hanifah Umul Khairah. So today we're going to discuss about EST in vocational high school level. So they are the topics that we're going to talk about. The characteristic of ESP, and then what is ESP in vocational high school level, and then topic and theme of EST in vocational high school, and then the principle of teaching material of EST. So the first topic will be explained by Hanifah Umul Khairah.
Okay, I'm Hanifah Humul Haira. So here I will explain the first content that we are going to learn, the characteristic of English for science and technology. Next. Okay, here are 5 characteristics of ESP. The first one, ESP is to fulfill some particular requirements of the learner. So because it is a specific English or for specific purpose, so there are some particular requirements for the learner. And ESP includes grammar, lexis, skills, varieties of activity. Even though it is different from general English, but we still learn about grammar, lexis, skills, and varieties of activity. But we concern in specific content. They are science and technology. ESP can have some particular disciplines, in ESP or English for Science and Technology. There are some disciplines that we have to know and learn before we start to learn ESP. Next, ESP is mainly plain for intermediate and advanced students because it is a specific English for specific purpose. So the field is for the intermediate and advanced students who are more will learn more deep. And then ESP is plain for adult learners who can be at secondary level of or professional work situation. Okay, next. There are 5 major roles for an ESP practitioner. They are course designer, teacher, researcher, collaborator, and evaluator. Even though here the main participant will be the teacher, but for ESP, the teachers need some help from the other professional to make ESP become uh, the real ESP. For example, when we will teach an, an ESP like ESP, English for Science and Technology, we need some reference from the course designer because we maybe we are not familiar with the course actually, and then researcher for make the uh, for example, in ESP, we will learn some specific topic. So we need research to make it become clear and also reliable. And then collaborator. In collaborator, we need some others expert to make our materials become more complex and also good materials. And then evaluator, because it is not only learns the language, but also the content. So we need evaluator to give more feedback for the student. I think that's all for me. I'll turn it to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Hanifa Umul Khairah. Okay, for the next material will be explained by me. What is ESP in vocational high school level? Okay, in a secondary level, English teaching is applied onto conventions. The first is that English is taught as a foreign language, which compares at four language skills and two language component, known as general English. And the second is that English is given to the student with specific ultimate goals to enable them to understand English written text in their field of study. This is known as English for specific purposes for the vocational high school level. So, Hutchinson and Waters in 1989 state that ESP is categorized into two divisions: English for academic purposes and English for occupational purposes. For the EAP is subjected to the learners who need English for academic study, such as English for the medical study, and then English for economic, English for agriculture, and that's all. And for the EOP, it is intended for the learners who need English for working training, such as English for technicians and English for the secretaries. Okay, next. Since training and educational programs at SMK are aimed to enable students to assess certain competence in order to encourage them to get jobs dealing with the national welfare, the English teaching SMK must be directed at reaching aim. The issue of teaching English teaching in this case concerns with how to provide English to meet learners' needs. ESP then becomes an essential approach in English language teaching. To set up a program of ESP, a teacher has to concern with the several points: teaching guideline, syllabus, selecting a good materials, the objective, and the students. Along with this program, good teachers will set up a program, the teaching guidelines, before they begin to teaching. And these programs are necessary because they can prepare all the teaching and learning activities. When they do this, they can make an evaluation for the teaching materials, and they can eliminate a repetition of the same materials that can cause student boredom. Okay, I think that's all for my material. The material will be continued by Mutia Herza.
Thank you, Rida. Okay, I'm Mutaheza. Will explain about the next, Rida. Okay, so there are topics and themes of ESD in vocational high school. There are next, there are a computer major, pharmacy, nursery, and IT. So there are so this is discussed in ESD for vocational high school level. Next. So we are going to discuss about the principles of teaching materials of ESD. Next, according to Roman, there are several regulations of developing teaching material in ESD. They are the first one, specified objective of teaching. Material lots of objective of teaching that are specific. Objectives Objectives of teaching become crucial attention when teacher design teaching material. The material should be a bridge to reach the objective of teaching and stimulate students to be interested in teaching learning process. And the second one, clearly purpose of teaching. Material also consists of purpose of teaching English that should be clearly identified. In teaching learning process, students are expected to realize the purpose of learning. It means that they can be more interested to study hard because they know that it's important for their perspective in the future. And the third one is consists of communication needs. Material should consist of communication needs of the learner. It means that the material is designed by need analysis of workplace demand. Its purpose is to find out the suitable material for the learners who need English that related to their field study. Then, stress the language as communication. Teaching material should be stressed sorry, teaching material should be stressed to put on language as communication system and not as a grammatical system. EST material is more focused on communication system that is language to deliver information or feeling that grammatical system that emphasize to master language by exploring the regulation of the language. Then stimulus students' activities in teaching process. In this regulation, the precaution should be built in teaching material. Teaching material should interest for the students in order that they become comfortable in teaching learning process. And the last one is using learner-centered approach. In here, material is designed by learner-centered approach because learner-centered approach is suitable for teaching English for specific purposes. Next. Okay. Then Dudley and Joe in 2007, they mentioned that there are several points in developing teaching material in EST, such as flexibility, clear explanation, clear explanation. Oh, sorry, we have an error on the PowerPoint. The third one should be practice of communication needs and supported by relevant references. Then consider the sociological or culture of learners. The sixth one relate to learner knowledge, and the last one is building knowledge and awareness. So that is the principle of teaching material in ST. Okay, I'll give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mutia Herza.
Okay, I think that's all for our presentation today. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.